So imagine we just did all those beautiful texture things. We just had done some heat, some cold, some rough, some smooth, some effleurage, some compressions. We did some point work. We got to experiment with different postures in our own body. Next, we're gonna take it into some foot, ankle, leg stretches. So first, let's start on the right leg. We'll engage the stretch. Gonna do feather stroke, up, 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 over the knee, over the IT band, and then scooping that palm underneath the tibia. And then as we bend this foot, we're gonna take our sweet time to move our knees at the same time as we bend that foot into flexion. We're gonna go at the same pace. And then our first pass is we're gonna see what flexibility is available to our receiver by first just checking in with this stretch and seeing how their body's doing, listening. And then once they're turtled into this flexion, gonna even stretch the tops of the toes. Nice. And then we're gonna allow ourselves to get kind of low on this next move. We're gonna match our left collarbone into the top of the tibia. So I'm gonna get really low, and then we're gonna create a little collarbone sandwich with collarbone, hands on the back of the Achilles, hands, left hand squeezing that heel. And then as we squeeze and lift the heel, we're gonna slowly slide our knees all the way up to like mid quad. Nice, and then letting it just sink and rest. Take your sweet, sweet time to bring them into full expression of that flexion. And then now engaging the toes, flexing the toes towards the glutes. Just let out a big sigh. Awesome. And then keeping that foot placed in towards the glute, we're gonna bring a little pressure point on the top of the retinaculum of the ankle. It's that banda fascia. I'm gonna place our thumb on that band of fascia, pinning that fascia down. We're gonna bring the foot into dorsiflexion, using the palms to kind of get to the base of the toes. Take it for its full expression into dorsiflexion. And doing a little gentle circle, playing with dorsiflexion, pressing on tops of the toes. One more time, plantar flexion, and then even experimenting with giving a little nurturing energy with our bellies. We're just gonna bring the base of our belly onto the knee to kind of cradle that knee in, giving a little more love to the foot. A little more plantar flexion. And for the next move, we're gonna need our receiver's palm out of the way. So just moving it out about 3 inches. You could move it out to the side, or you could bring them into a full T. Okay, and then from that flexed knee, we're gonna bring it to the medial midline of the body. We're gonna transition it to cradle into the crux of the elbow. And cradling it into that left elbow, it allows her to get a little bit of a stretch along the top of the hip flexor, allows you to peel away that right leg. And then as we lower that right leg onto the right forearm, we're gonna bring it slowly, scooping underneath the knee, pushing to the top of the foot, pushing it, push into that top of that foot, and allowing that foot to come all the way onto the mat. Pin down the lateral side of the malleolus, the sexual organs and reflexology, and then the other palm coming onto the lateral side of the knee. And then we're gonna shift our body posture over to the side. And if you want him to, you could scoot him more too if you wanted. With that pinned heel, we're gonna scoop like a scuba dive underneath the upper part of the gastroc. We're just gonna go for that soft tissue, still pinning down that heel towards the earth. We're gonna lift up all that soft tissue, and then using the base of your palm, we're gonna come in to press that muscle down and coming into a nice comfortable tabletop. Awesome. And then palming up slowly to the knee. We're gonna play with coming with foot on top of foot. And that kind of liberates the hands to come up to the IT band. And we're gonna stay away from our palms, hips towards the heels, and then slowly coming into like a butterfly stack. Shoulders over those wrists. Do at least 3 palm lengths down the IT band. Sorry, I don't have more room, Bridge. Good improv. And then letting one palm stay on that knee, switching palm off of foot. And then we're gonna slowly journey back to the midline. Take your time, moving your knees towards their midline. And with our left forearm, we're gonna scoop underneath, coming into the elbow crease, scooping underneath the knee. And then keep yourself low and let that knee be laterally rotated. And then as you lower their foot, stay on that hamstring and stay on the top of the foot. That just communicates to them that they don't have to lower their foot on their own. Awesome. Then we're gonna come back to the feet, slowly coming onto knees, palming your way as you move your knees towards their feet, palming slowly down, bypass the back of the knee. Maybe match hands when you come to gastroc, finding your tabletop. All right, and setting up for next side. Gonna ground the palm into that right arch. Scoop, 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 feather stroke underneath the tibia. Slowly lifting that foot into flexion, and as you flex it, you get to walk with it. It's easy to do this one too fast. We'll just go really slow, and then some body types will find this stretch quite easy, or we had a model in class the other day that this was as far as they could go. So this whole move is all about body listening, not forcing them into it, just letting their body dictate their range of motion for you. And then if you felt like, wow, my receiver can really take this stretch, they have the flexibility, we'll then go into the next one. If you were having kind of more of like stiffness here, it would be clumsy and awkward to do the second stretch and probably too much on them. But all of our, yeah, cool. Our receivers are doing great. So we'll go into the next intense level. So making your sandwich now, collarbone, squeezing that heel. As you squeeze the heel, it lifts up the leg, which then gives you time to scoot your knees underneath, go about mid-quad length. Let their body dictate how deep the stretch is. Super listening. And let's all take a deep breath in together. And a really slow breath out. Start to melt your face, relax your eyes, plantar flex the foot, and then finding that top of the retinaculum of the ankle, doing some circles, pinning that muscle, bringing that foot slowly into dorsiflexion, and then using the base of your palms to come into the gap of the toes. Yeah. Taking them for their full expression of the stretch. Nice. And do at least a couple circles with even stretching the toes down towards the earth. And then we're going to keep that knee bent. We're just going to bring that heel towards the midline. And as that heel comes towards the midline, the quad starts to come off of our shelf. So we can even shift our weight a little bit to their midline to allow us to scoop underneath that knee, and then pressing the bottom of the foot as we scoop and push. And then grounding that heel. If you need to readjust your partner's hand, please do. Although it looks super snug in there. I want to kind of keep it in there. Do you like it there? Yeah, that was snug. Okay, we'll keep that. All right. So palm on the outside lateral part, the calcaneus, one palm on the knee. And then keep that heel grounded. We're gonna scuba dive like an elegant eel, slipping through that space. Go really low, and it's like oppositional forces. One palm gets to press the heel down as one lifts up that soft tissue. Nice, nice guys. And then palming that soft tissue down towards the earth. Just playing with that concept of peeling the soft tissue off the bone, compressing downward. And then, you know, some of us are a little stripped for space. Get a little creative with the next transition, letting your arch go over their entire foot, and then coming into that butterfly stretch with base of the palms onto the IT band. Nice. And as you move down the IT band, just coming out of stack as you move, slide the hands. And then as you come into stack, pause into that pressure, especially the IT band is more sensitive. Good communication, you guys. Love it. And then ending one hand at the knee, one hand at the IT band. And stay with that knee. We're gonna peel that foot off slowly. Coming into your tabletop with your knees on the earth. And then using that right arm, we're gonna scoop the forearm underneath the top of the foot. And then underneath that knee, we're gonna coax it into the midline, using both your arms to help you do it. One more time before we say goodbye to that foot. One more flexion in towards the glute. And then this is such a great position once they're kind of, as I say, turtled in. It gives us the opportunity to move our knees because they're in a safely anchored spot. We're going to come to perpendicular. And then as we lower that foot, we're going to compress the palm into the hamstring, just giving them that extra communication that they can let go. They don't have to engage. Perfect. Ground that foot, ground the Achilles, slowly palm down as you move your own body. Bypass the back of the knee. Nice work, everyone. Feather stroke off. Give your partner a high five.
That was lovely. Thank you.